This video is going to show 3 exercises to train your fingers to stay on their tips when playing chords. And this is one of the biggest things that happens when a new guitar player tries to learn how to do chords. So let's take a C major chord for example. So it's supposed to sound like this. However, a lot of new guitarists will make it sound more like something like this. So what's happening is the fingers are not on the tips enough. So let's take a closer look here. So when you have the fingers up on the tips, it looks more like this. It sounds like that. But new players will have a more relaxed grip on it, and they don't have the fingers on the tips enough. So you get all these muted notes instead of having a nice clear chord ringing out. So these exercises are pretty close to what I give in-person students. I tend to go into a little more detail with it, but just for the sake of the video, let's keep it simple. So we're going to use major and minor chords. So we're going to start with just 2 fingers. We're going to do a C chord, an F, and a G. And then we're also going to do 3 minor chords, a D minor, an E minor, and an A minor. So you notice that all the majors, I'm using my 2nd and 1st finger. And for the minors, I'm using my 3rd and 1st fingers for every one. Okay, so the goal is make sure that you have definitely the middle finger up on the tip enough so that way when you're playing both notes you hear them together instead of having it kind of clunky. Playing one note at a time as it is tabbed out will allow you to hear both notes to make sure everything sounds clear. If anything doesn't sound clear, take the time to adjust your hand in order to make sure your fingers are up on the tip properly so you hear the notes ring out together clearly. Now, on the tablature, as you can see right now, it says 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 in that first bar. So do not play it like this, because that defeats the purpose of the exercise. You need to let them ring together. So leave both notes down on each bar as you do this. Okay, so here goes the first exercise. Okay, now the next exercise we're going to do the same, basically the same chords. We're going to add another note. So now our major chords, we're still going to do C, F, and G, but now we're going to build it with the middle finger, ring finger, and then the 1st finger. So middle, ring, index. Okay? So we got 3, 3, 2 to start off with our C chord. And then the minor chord for the D minor, E minor, and A minor, all 3 of those we'll use ring finger, pinky, index. So ring, pinky, index, or 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger. So playing that D minor, you're building it up 5, 5, 3. Okay, so here's the second exercise. This last one, we're going to do 3 minors and 3 majors again, but this time we're going to do something that's going to involve some stretching. So we're going to go down the fretboard this time instead of up the fretboard, and we're going to start with the A minor this time. So with the minor chord, you're going to use your pinky, middle, and 1st fingers. The major, you're going to use your pinky, 3rd finger, and 1st finger. And then when we get down to this C chord here, we're going to go back to using your second and first finger, but now you need to make sure your index finger is up on the tip so that open G string will ring out. So here we go, third exercise. And that's it. So you can always do more exercises than that. Usually with students that I see in person, we'll do a lot more stuff involving moving those two finger shapes around in a lot more elaborate progressions. Same thing with those three finger shapes as well as these. So you can definitely do more than this. If you need more exercises than what's shown here to help, just let me know and I can put some out. But that's the biggest thing. And even when you're learning how to play other chords, like so when you are ready to try these bigger chords, it's always helpful to play one note at a time to make sure every note rings out clearly. So when you're practicing these any new chord shapes, try that. Just play one note at a time while you're holding the chord, and if anything sounds off, just adjust your hand the way you need to in order to make sure that the fingers are up on the tips, they're not touching any adjacent string that could be muting out notes that you want. Of course, there are some chords where you do want to mute out strings, like this minor 7 right here. I'm muting out this D string. Same thing with that minor 7 right there. So some chords you need to mute, and sometimes it's important to actually have kind of, as one person put it, a lazy finger. Like this is a very popular G5 chord. So it's basically like a G major, but it's taking this note off that B note, and it's muting the A string by laying that middle finger flat. So some chords you do need to mute out strings, but for the most part you will not be doing that on bigger chords like this. So if you've been having trouble getting the chords down because you're muting things, hopefully these exercises help. Please let me know if they do. Please let me know if they don't. And yeah, if you have any questions about this, please let me know. And thank you for watching.